Welcome everyone. House of Pros are off. Geo Prior, the melting snowflake, and it was warm yesterday. And thoughts from the deep state all rolled into one. And I've been saying this for years. We need inflation caps, especially on some profitable companies, at least for some periods of time, not for all eternity. I get that. Profits change, profit margins change. Um, what did I leave out here? We need pay cuts for some of these highly paid employees, which of course isn't very motivational, but can you imagine the people that make 30, 40, 70, 80, 90,000 and you make 20 million and you get it cut to 10 million and you tell me that's not very motivational for you to work? What about the poor guy's been making 20, 30,000 for years without pay raises and then you guys want me to think about your deep inability to be motivated to work at a job because you got a pay cut from 20 million to 10 million. What about the guy and the gal that's out there working for hardly 20 some $1,000s a year? I mean, you're really showing them that they are really cared about by society by never giving them wage raises or never making them full-time employees with consistent wage increases while you get consistent wage increases. It's so unfair. It's unbelievable. We don't even talk about it because it's kind of like somebody, the bully who can beat someone up. He doesn't talk about the concept of why he gets to beat somebody up. He just does it. Just like some of these rich people, they're not talking about the concept of why they get all the money. They just do it. And they know that you won't fight them back in any meaningful way. And when I say fight back, I'm not talking about violence and breaking laws and getting your poor self into more trouble. That's not going to help at all. Politics is a good way, your vote is a good way to change things. Um, and I've said for years we need inflation caps. And yeah, that's right. Eventually, these billionaire companies are going to have to assist in raising the standard of living for the people and making America great again for everybody. It cannot be forever growing wealth of our richest people who make 200, 300, even 400 times the average American. I know the fiscal conservatives think capitalism and profits have no limit, but all systems have limits. That's based on science. Science would tell you all systems have limits. And so I know there's crazy people on the left, on the far left. I know there's crazy people on the far right. We have to come together and exercise nonpartisan politics so we can get to the right answers. Inflation caps might not be forever. It doesn't have to be just on Walmart. There's been Walmarts that have really struggled and could not make a profit. And welfare has been cut for about 40 years now. Um, I guess if you're a woman and you have children, that welfare has been pretty consistent. It's still not a great source of living, but it is sometimes the only source of living standards for poor people. Um, and who said everybody was meant to be a worker? We have these ideas. Some people are artists. Some people like to read. Some people like to relax. Some people they don't want to be. They don't need a mansion. They're not looking to get a mansion. But they also need good lives and good places to live and relax and enjoy their life and have some freedom and some solitude. You don't pack them all in like sardines and try to save as much money as possible and put them in the smallest area possible and make as much money as possible, which is what we're doing. We are that extreme now. And it's amazing how your words can be turned into weapons from the opposite side of the political spectrum, where, well, I don't want to give people money just for being alive. That one always sticks in my mind, and I'm like, people get money all the time for just being alive. It's not going to change. We could change that in government and make it more right wing, but there's still going to be rich people that get inheritances and trust funds and children that get more than other children and adults that get more than other adults and people get more help than other people. For God's sakes, we have people in student loan debt for 35 years where some rich person just walks out of the college debt free, no credit card debt. And then we raise the interest on graduate student loans. The colleges sometimes did poor jobs of managing and letting the student know about this debt and where it could lead them. And you're just out there with your simple statement. Maybe you shouldn't say all these simple statements like, I don't think people should just get money for being alive. I don't think college loan debts should ever be forgiven. I think you should go to jail if you have excessive debt. Who knows? These are simple statements without deep thought, without reasoning. And again, in some cases, making America great again. That's not the worst statement in the world, but how are we going to do that? Back to my point about these blanket statements that could mean God knows what. And sometimes people do mean the worst meaning, like they really don't want poor people getting any money and they hate poor people. They hate them and they don't want them talked about in the media. They hate poor people getting attention about how poor they are. They don't want anything like that discussed. They just want to talk about profit margins and how they can make money. And they're crazy. They really are, because every system has its limits. Everything has its limits. That's shown in mathematics. To improve the American living standard, companies are going to have to do their part. The government's going to have to do their part. And maybe not only do we need to bring manufacturing back to America, maybe we also need to bring constructive welfare back to America. And maybe this time the liberals need to emphasize being grateful to your government, being grateful to your community, being grateful to the working class people that provide you services, because it's never about just take, give, take, give. No, it's got to be about doing the right thing. And we've got to think about gratitude is important. Gratitude for all the great things that we have, whether you're liberal or conservative, or you don't know, you're just listening and learning. This has been House of Pros Are Off. You've been great. Tune in, subscribe to my station, give me a like. Take care.